Hey guys, welcome back. If you've been here before, welcome. If you've never been here before, I'm sure you see there's a lot of changes. Let me first just address the kind of obvious, the channel name change. So the reasons why I did that, there's just several different reasons. One, the channel name indicated that it was kind of a farm content channel, and it's never really been that. I think that was my intention originally, but it just never was that. So I think it's important to have the channel name reflect what the content is about. That's why the channel name is different. Now, will the content be any different? No, but yes. Nature's Engineer and I, of course, it's about the beaver and myself and how we coexist out here. That's primarily what it's all going to be about. One thing in the past, the content has always been very kind of impromptu, and it's I pull up and I'm like, there's Beaver Dam, let me get the camera. And I also like to have organization and kind of a plan too. So I'd like to develop so my plan is I'm going to develop kind of a flow or a template for these videos. And I hope what it can do, what I'm really hoping is it can make the content schedule a little bit more predictable. It's difficult sometimes, it's fine for me because I really don't have any type of schedule. There's really not any stress for that. But it makes the channel just not really do well. If you're familiar with YouTube at all, YouTube favors channels that post regularly and kind of on a schedule. And I don't do that. I don't, it's difficult. This content here is very, it's weather based, it's nature based. And then on top of that, this is kind of, I run it as a business, but it's not my day job. It's kind of like, I don't want to say a hobby, but it's something extra for me. It's almost like an outlet. It's where it's relaxation. The videos I make because I like making videos. It's not, I do it because I want to learn how to edit. I want to learn how to make, different video types and things like that. So this is kind of a good, studio, so to speak. So, but here's the plan for today. I've got to try to find a trail camera. I think I know where it is. I put it out a few weeks ago, and but I'm pretty sure I know where it is. And so I think that's going to kind of become a regular part of my videos. Is briefly, I'm not going to show everything that the trail camera got, but if there's anything of interest that the trail camera got, I'm going to kind of insert it here shortly after the intro as we make our way. That's kind of weird flying spider. As we make our way over to, whatever we're doing with the waterways and such. So today, well, we'll do that in the. Bio is coming way down. One thing I wish I would have done when I started this channel was be a little bit more clear about who I was. The truth of the matter is like I didn't know what I was doing. And so I wish I would have been, transparent about that. And so it's good, maybe as kind of this point forward, letting that be known for this channel. This channel is kind of, it really is like a fish out of water story. I didn't grow up on a farm. I was farming our family for, since the 1850s or something like that. So, but I didn't grow up here. I mean, I grew up here as a kid. I came to this farm frequently until I was about 10 years old. And then I moved away and I wasn't near it. And I really didn't, I think I visited maybe 3 times until I just moved back here full time in 2021. That's why I came back here. I came back here because, Dad's getting older and somebody else is gonna have to manage this. So I came back to learn. And so, like I said, it's a total fish out of water story of somebody that has no idea what they're doing, trying to learn how to do this. There's something just went into the water. It's kind of interesting. Last time I was here, I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks ago, we took out this beaver dam. Something over there. I don't know what I can't see because of the trees and such, but anyway, water's really high. Really high. Like you can see, this was the top of the dam right here. Water was, and this is where we dug it out. And it looks like they started trying to rebuild it right here. Look how much deeper that is on that side versus this side. This really needs to be dug out too, probably. It's been very hot. It's been very dry for the last 2 weeks. But it's unusual that it would go down that much that quick just due to evaporation. So this is the far east side. So this is kind of like the last resort, right? Here's the end of the lateral right here. Crosses the road, comes this way. Has to go all the way down to the very back of the property, and then it turns and goes back west again, and it can hit the main exit over that way. This ditch also drains our neighbor's field here too. Show you guys something. It's kind of interesting. See this line right here? See how this is kind of short grass here. Over there, it's like super tall weeds. There's like some cicopods and coffee beans and all kinds of stuff growing in there. So why is this different right here? When I was mowing, I was kind of coming in here and turning around, and as I was making my passes on the levee, and so I mowed this. And so that's kind of one thing I've always pressed to Dad, is about how important mowing is for weed control. But you can see where it's mowed, I got some of these little flower things coming up, but for the most part it's just grass. None of the bad weeds, really. It's really what this field probably needs. I noticed it just doesn't drain right. Like I pulled in here a few weeks ago. I did this back in July. I don't know if I said that when I mowed this. This was July. It hasn't been touched since July. And that's all that it's grown. So, but see this right here? This is when I came in here, just pulled up to right here and then tried to back out and started spinning tires. So this field just does not drain well. It hadn't even rained recently, but this whole field was just like soggy. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but that buzz, that's just like the mosquitoes. They're just swarming everything. I pulled up kind of back a little bit because I want to walk up here quietly. The temperature today is a little bit cooler than what it has been. We're kind of getting back into that time of the year where you'll start to see the cottonmouths and stuff out during the day again. When it gets hot during the summer, they kind of do all their hunting and everything at night. They burrow down during the day to stay cool. But when it starts to get cool again and cool, really cool at night, they'll start to be more active during the day. So you're going to start finding them laid up in the pipes and things again. So look at that little frog. So if you're new to the channel, first time watching, you gotta be real careful because they like to get in this stuff. That's why you'll always see me when I come up here, I'm kind of beating the rake around. Don't see anything today yet. Look at all that mud that they've piled up there. The good thing is the water's not high. The bad thing is the backhoe operator removed that and went back to the worthless grate over the pipe, and you see how that works out. Side is completely open, and the beaver's gone in and shoved all kinds of stuff inside there. So I just don't understand. Blows my mind. Pull down something that's working and go back to something inferior. So one thing that's going to be different this year, and it's going to kind of maybe make the content a little bit different this year, is that we're not going to flood fields this year. We're going to use this winter to get this stuff cleaned up. We've got some ditches, especially through here. There's I don't know how long, I think it was 2 years ago, did a video back there in those trees where I had to get into the water to wade down. It wasn't really even a beaver dam. It was just like a tree had fallen and a bunch of stuff had collected around it. But so this year, we can't ever get that cleaned out because the time of year we can get in there and do it, it's flooded because we're closing gates and holding water back for ducks and things like that. So it's not worth it. And this year we're not going to do it. We don't see any ducks here anyway until usually like end of February. They'll start to show up here, and by that time, that's when we're needing water to be out of here and things drying out. So we'll get the geese, but the geese don't need the water. All the geese want is just something to eat. So let's go down here. We'll kind of double back to the middle, and we'll see what it's like down there. That's really kind of the problem spot now. Must need the road. This is so grown over again. You can hardly tell where the road is. There's a backhoe. No clue where the crossing is. Man, this is really bad back here. Let me see if we can. Oh yeah. Look at the backhoe. I don't know if you can see, but let me see if I can get us a little higher vantage point here. So things look pretty good over here. There's no water in there. But this side over here, there's definitely way more water here than what should be. This should be kind of the higher point where it goes that way or that way, preferably that way. But there, you can't, the backhoe's kind of blocking it. But you can see the start of a dam right there. And that dam comes all the way across. And so that's why water's higher on this end and not so much on that plastic pipe end where we just came from. It's all being stopped by that dam right there. It's just kind of a mess back here. See, this is kind of one of those things where I might have to wait for some of this vegetation to die off. So we can get back in here. Oh wow. Even this is dry. Huh. I haven't seen this dry in a long time. This ditch needs dug out really bad. And it's silted in really bad here. The beavers always build right here. And so this just perpetually holds water. But it's not now. Huh. Should have the camera going when I pulled up here. But this is way down. Hardly any water. See lots of minnows and stuff in there. But when I pulled up, there was one of those giant, I don't know what they are, kind of, I don't know, a crane is what I always call them, but I know that's not what they are. But you see, we're down to hardly any water in here. This, if you look in here, see that water level's like down below at the bottom of the pipe. This spot right here, this is a spot where I could usually find cottonmouth. Like even during the summer, even during the day. This spot just stays kind of cool. It's kind of shaded. You got the water, you got a metal pipe. They like to just kind of get in there and lay next to the water. There's no water in the pipe right now though, so kind of SOL there. I wonder if they ended up, I'm gonna go ahead and look at this. They cut that rice. Since I was here last. I'm kind of curious how this rice over here had fallen down. They didn't even cut it. I don't know if they plan to or not, but you see it, when I say it's falling down, see how it's kind of all on the ground rather than standing up. And they can still cut that, but they're definitely going to lose some yield not being laid down like that. But I kind of get the feeling they're not gonna cut it because they cut this field over here. But so they've been over here and they've pulled the poly pipe. So usually the combines aren't far behind. So I just drove along a section of this road here with the weed torch. We'll check on it next week, see how effective it was. But essentially the idea is it's so hot that it makes the cells of the plant rupture and kills the weeds. Like, you don't have to sit there and just burn them down, but try to kind of hit the stem. And we'll come back, we'll see how effective it was. This fall, when this stuff dries out and stuff, we'll just burn a lot of stuff off. So it'll become handy then too, just to set that stuff off and whatnot. So I drove around, come up the other side. I really didn't want to cross that because, for one, you can't see where the road is. Last time I come across it, it was pretty narrow. There wasn't really much room for error. So I just wasn't even going to try that. Now we come up the other side. I thought I'd be able to get a real good view of that beaver dam right there. But I'm blocked out by this stuff, so unfortunately no better view. But as you can see though, we have water on this end, a little bit more than what we should have. So, I don't know if you can see that through the woods there. There's the cabin. The old cabin. So, I did want to mention that I have been in communication with a professional trapper. They'll be teaming up with us as soon as the season starts. There is actually a trapping season for beaver. Used to, like, if it was for agricultural purposes, there was no season. Like, you could even, you did have to get a permit for this, but you could get a permit to shoot the beavers at night. A lot of that stuff has seemed to have gone away now. Seems like it doesn't matter who you are. You have to wait until it's the season. We're going to check with Farm Services though, because there may still be an ag exemption we just don't know about. If you're wondering what that is an old pile of polypipe that a previous farmer of ours, rather than having disposed of the proper way, they brought it back here in the woods and left it. So now something that we've got to deal with. Kind of uncovered that when we were cleaning out this, making this road through here. But yeah, so we're gonna have a professional trapper working with us. As always, I won't show any like harm or tragic endings to the beavers on camera. I don't know what this guy, he mentioned that the traps that he uses, there's several things that he does, including live traps, and then some that aren't live traps. So it's just kind of one of those things, you know. Also, you know, guns show up on this channel. You see them in almost every video because they're just, it's a farm and we carry guns. It's just kind of it's just how it works. But I don't know that you'll never see a firearm in use on this channel, but they will appear. So, you know, that's just something that you got to be okay with. I know some people aren't, and that's fine, but in farm life, it's just a reality. Country life, there's numerous reasons that I could sit here and say why it's a good idea to have this, and it'll far outnumber anybody's reasons of why it's a bad idea to have this. So. Whew, I was so close to sunsetting my channel earlier this year. When I do, I think that might be the shot that I use. Actually, I take that back. My final video, when that day comes, I think I'll take it from this way. That's west. That's west. Catch it with a sunset. What an incredible final shot that would be. Someday. Not quite ready to wrap it yet. I thought I was, but I want to go at least one more winter. So if you've ever watched one of my videos, you know that I always like to close out with the drone shots. Unfortunately, on this day, it was this drone's last flight. After almost 5 years of happy flying, I lost this drone in the sun while landing it and caught a tree branch and destroyed it. I do plan on getting another drone, so we'll be back in the sky soon. Enjoy these shots for now, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.